And welcome back to our next portion of Dungeons of Chaos playthrough. Now, we haven't seen the title screen for a while as we've been in game. But a couple things here I do want to highlight first. Over the weekend, we have a new patch, version 1.4.35. There's a new functionality with that on the daylight settings and the world map. We'll go over that once we get started. Another item here is we have the Kickstarter campaign button. If you want to go ahead and support the expansion for Chapter 3, the smallest pledge donation is going to be $1, all the way up to $198. Be able to name one of the 12 knights that should be coming in Chapter 3. If you enjoy Dungeons of Chaos and want to see it continuously expanded and improved upon, go ahead and support that Kickstarter campaign. Now, the W down here is the WordPress blog. There's a couple of wiki links in that, a couple of really good detailed bits of information. Always good to check out, especially with the classes and the rotational level bonuses. Then right beside that is going to be the Facebook button. If you are just joining us and have not joined the Facebook group for Dungeons of Chaos, I highly recommend that. Very active, very responsive. If you have any questions, that would be a good point to post. Feel free to jump on that. Now, if you have not upgraded to version 1.4.35, I'd recommend go ahead and doing that before continuing on with our playthrough. Go ahead and let's load up our team that we've been playing with. Now, previously, we just finished going through the Dry Hot Cave and speaking with the Flame. And he has told us where we could find the orb. He knows where the orb is, but he wants us to kill Xerxes the Lich, who is in a cursed tower in the northwest of the island. So we'll be heading there briefly. But if you have upgraded your patch to version 1.4.35, we now have a new remembered area. Now, we've explored this area before. If we bring up the map, it'll show us that all the black portions have been pushed away. There's nothing really unknown except for way over here that we've kind of missed. But what will happen is any of the portions of the map that is out of line of sight, for us, we're in a forest semi, and so a lot of it's obscured by trees. The new patch allows us to click in remembered areas. But better yet, you bring up the options, go to page 3. Now, previously I said I like playing with the daylight cycle off, but this is actually going to make a great improvement. We're going to keep that on normal and go back. Now, if you notice, as the daylight cycle looks like it's starting to diminish and go into nightfall. But any of the out of sight areas that was completely blacked out now is just kind of dimmed and grayed, and we can still click on it. But if we come to a section of the map that we have not explored, we're going to see this very dark blacked out area that we can't click on. We have to explore it first before it's clickable and remembered. So this gives a nice little benefit to exploring the map. And while we were out there clearing out that black, we ran into some spiders. Let's go ahead and take care of them before we run up to the cursed tower. Looks like our rangers ought to level up pretty quickly. See if we can't run away from that spider and get out of that. There we go. Alright, so Xerxes said that the Flame has said that Xerxes is actually in the northwest corner of the island in a tower. So let's just head north up a little bit. There's the orc villages and the tunnels. Let's not go over there. We'll just kind of stay out of the forest for a little bit and continue north. Alright, you see nightfall's come. but we've already kind of ventured over here a little bit. I came up here when we were coming out of the Orc Village going back to the village to hand in the smuggler's quest. Go ahead and cast light to get a little bit of light radius. Now if you haven't been up here yet, there's a couple of signposts. If you click on them and read them, it says stay clear, ants. Now ants are kind of dangerous. Go ahead and see if we can't trigger an engagement here. Now, not only do you have quite a few of them, but they also spit poison, they can call for help, and they're very aggressive. Good thing is, they're weak, they have no evasion, and they're weak against fire. So this should be a fairly easy encounter. Now again, we discussed poison before, and poison stacks. So when you get 3 or 4 of them around your fighter, that poison damages stack up and tick quite a bit. Now there's a couple ways around it. You can follow the coast to the left and stay out from range of spawning ants and do it that way. You got a little bit larger gap over here by the mountain. Let's go this route. And let's start heading west. Notice the ants have a fairly large region, the inner deserts. Now, that's going to be a giant scorpion. Let's go ahead and tag him real quick. Now again, they spit acid or poison, and they also do paralysis, but they're relatively weak. And as our range fighters and our mages took them out well before we got into them. I'm going to run right over here to the west, and there we are at the Lich's Tower. I'm going to bring up the map and kind of show a nice little overlay of where we came. Now that's where we're at in the tower in the northwest. You come a little bit east. There's all the ant hills that we avoided. Now there is kind of a broad area that you can cut through this a little bit, and there's actually, if you walk around it, you're going to have a nice big black spot in there. So if you're wanting to completely map out, get rid of that black, you're actually going to have to go through that path to get that completely taken care of. And coming back down, there's the Orc villages. We've ventured there a little bit. And down here is where the volcano was. So literally we just ran nearly straight north following the coastline and then made a quick jaunt left through the desert here. And that puts us at the Lich Tower. Now, Xerxes Tower is quite the little dungeon. So we're going to actually close out this video real quick, and we're going to bring up the Lich's Tower in the next segment or two, and we'll start that in just briefly. So stay tuned. We'll jump into the Lich Tower and hopefully take him out.